It's Caroline here from Aussie Cards and Crafts. Today what I'd like to go through and show you is a trifold shutter card. Now I have one here that I did previously. Just got to find it. In fact, I've done a few of them actually today because I wanted to make sure that I got all my measurements correct. Now this one has got all the mats and layers, but there's no decoration on this one, but I just wanted to make sure that it did actually fit. There are a lot of these on the internet. I've changed this slightly. There's a few little tweaks that I've done to make it actually operate a lot smoother. You'll see that there is a bigger gap between the top piece and the middle piece, and that makes it just open so much easier. So let me go through and show you what you need to do this. Now, the important part is that you actually do not need any special equipment other than a blade and a ruler and probably pen, etc. You don't necessarily need any special things to do it. Now, I have die cut the numbers 70 and some greenery to go around it. Well, not greenery, it's purple. But that's because it's a special card. You could just go with the topper, and I'll show you those in a moment, and you don't necessarily need to have a die cutting machine to do this, or you don't need to have a cutting board if you don't have one. Just use your ruler and your blade and you'll be fine. So, okay, let me get started. I'll leave that one up there. I also had done, as you can see, this is one where I haven't made the, did I? Yes, I did on that one. So you can see how easily it opens and folds. So I'm going to leave that one up there to cheat from as well. Other things that you will need, if you've got a cutting board, that will make life a lot easier, but if you haven't, don't worry. A knife, because you will need a knife. You need a metal ruler, because if you're cutting, always use a metal ruler. You will need glue. You'll need a burnishing tool or a bone folder. You'll need an eraser, and you'll need obviously the tool to do your creases in your paper. Now, and a pencil. Okay, so what I did get, this is actually for a friend of mine who's asked me to do a birthday card for a friend of hers who's turning 70. And I bought these beautiful papers yesterday, and I got them from Paper Flourish. They're the Paper Boutique. They're made in England. They're 8x8 cards, and you get 36 papers of 6 designs. So you get 6 of each design, plus you get these beautiful toppers just here. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to use today, which came from just there. So they really are very, very beautiful. There were a lot of different designs, and I must admit I bought 2 of them because I couldn't decide on which one to use. So the papers from that pad that I'm going to be using today is this one here. Okay, so I'm going to have that down the bottom. Okay, so that the main part there. I'm then going to have my secondary colour is going to be that. Now, when I cut mine, because I've cut all my pieces out already, when I cut mine out, I was able to get that, the pieces that I needed for them, which I have put there, 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 and there. I was able to get it out the centre of this. So there was very, very little wastage on this. So I took the whole page out to start with, but I just didn't need to cut into it. And the third piece is that one there. So they all match. They match beautifully. I'm really, really happy with it. I'm also using a piece of, this is called Hammer Embossed. And as you can see, I hope you can see the pattern on it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a nice dark purple. There's so many different colours of these, and I have used them before. They are available on my website, so please, head on over and have a look because they're beautiful. It's a beautiful card. I really, really like this. I also managed to find some scrap glitter card, and out of the glitter card, I made the number 70 and some leaves. You don't need to do this. I'm only doing this because it is a special card. And whilst I was at Paper Flourish yesterday, as I was walking out, I actually happened to see these, and they just matched so beautifully with them that I had to buy them. So I've got those as well. There was a whole pack. Okay. on the inside, I have actually done this on the computer and cut it out, but this is what is going to go on the inside of my card. So there will be a matte layer, or 2 matte layers, and then my top layer will be my sentiment. Okay, so there's that. I will give you, I'm now about to go and give you all of the measurements. So I'll pop these to one side. And I will tell you exactly what you need. So first off, you can see I made a few. This is my very first prototype that didn't have the little slots cut out of it. Okay, moving on. Your first piece, oopsies, let's grab this and put them all over to the side. Okay, so your first piece is your base piece, and your base piece is going to be 12 inches by 6 inches. Now, along that 6-inch side, I'm going to put it this way so I can butt that right up against my score line. I want you to get your pencil and just make a very, very small mark at 1.5 inches and 4.5 inches. Okay, so 1.5 and 4.5. Turn it around and then do 1.5 again and 4.5. Next, get your ruler, and what I'd like you to do, I'll just put this out the way at the moment. We will need it in a moment though. So then get your ruler and very lightly, don't make these very heavy marks, but from the point there to the point there, I would like you to just draw a very, very gentle line. Okay, so all the way down there. Come over to your next set of marks that you've made and do exactly the same thing. Okay, so straight down like so. And if you might be able to see those pencil lines or not, I didn't do them too hard because I'm going to have to rub them out. It's basically like tram tracks. So then go back to your scoreboard again and line your card up along your 12-inch side. Take your tool and then go from 2 inches down to that very first line. Okay, don't go right through, just go to that very first line. So straight down to there. On number 4 or 4 inches, I want you to score all the way down. Number 8, I'd like you to, or 8 inches, I'd like you to score all the way down again. And at 10 inches, I'd just like you to score from the top down to that very first line that you drew. Turn the paper over, or turn the card over the other way, so the other edge of the 12 inches up there. Go to your 2-inch mark and go down to that first line, and then go to your 10-inch mark and then go down to that first line. Okay, so what you should have is your score lines there, there, right the way through there, right the way through there, there and there. Okay, and that's it for our score. Oh, that's it for our scoring on that. What I will quickly go through though is the mats and layers before I put this all away. So I'll get my cheat sheet out here as well, and these will all be on the, I'm going to go through the matte layers first. Oh no, I'll do them together. So you have got two matte pieces, and they are going to be, what are they? They're 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. So you'll need 2 of those, and I'm just going to pop them down here so that you can see where they're going to go. The next 2 pieces, or the next pieces, are going to be 4 pieces, and these are going to be the little ones just here. 4 pieces that will measure 1 3/4 by 1 1/4, and these 4 pieces are going to go there, 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 and there. We then have a centerpiece here, and that is going to measure 3 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that will go in there. We then have 2 other pieces that are going to measure, I'll find the other one, there it is, 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, and they're going to go there and on that one there. And the last two for your mats are going to be 2 pieces that will measure 4 3/4 by 1 1/4, and they are going to go there and there. Okay, on top of this piece, let's go to our pattern first. So going once again from the other ones, we're going to use 2 pieces of pattern paper that is going to be 1 1/2 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Sorry, that's wrong. 5 1/2 inches by 1 1/2 inches, and they are going to go on there and there. The second pieces are going to be the little pieces, and this is out of pattern paper number 2, and these are the ones that I said I managed to get out of this section here on my pattern piece. So that's an 8 by 8 pattern piece, and I managed to get 2 of my pattern papers out of the same paper, which was awesome. So these ones are going to be 1 1/2 inch by 1 inch, and you're going to need 4 of those. So there, 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 and there. Of your pattern piece 1 again, you will need 2 pieces of 1 1/2 inches by 2 1/2 inches, and they're going to go there and there. And you will also need from your third pattern piece 3 1/2 inches by 2 1/2 inches, that will go on there. And you will also need 2 pieces of the same paper that is going to be 3 1/2 inches by 1 inch, and that's 2 of those, one there and one there. Added to that, you will need a piece of white. Now, I have done this on the computer because I wanted something special on it. I wanted to have the 70th birthday, and I haven't got a stamp like that, so I printed it off on the computer and I cut it down to size, and the size that you're going to need is 3 1/4 inches by 2 1/4 inches, and that will hold your sentiment just there. So if I can just quickly bring that in, you've got some kind of an idea of how it all goes together. Right, now I'm going to pop all of those aside because I need to show you how to fold this card. Okay, so we go back to this again. I'm going to get rid of this, and you are going to need to have your ruler and your knife. So moving back to this piece, if you remember, we did the 2 pencil lines there and the 2 pencil lines there, and then we did our scoring, but some of our scoring we didn't score all the way through. Okay, what you now need to do is you need to turn the paper, and you need to, where the end of that score line and that pencil line meet, you need on that 2 inch mark, you need to draw, or you need to cut a line all the way down to that 10 inch one. So it's the 2 inch to the 10 inch, and always make sure you have a metal ruler. So that will be from there down to there. Measure it up very carefully, hold it in place, make sure you know where you're going to go from. And if you can't actually see it, which I couldn't, don't be scared to bring your cross over a little bit so that you do know where to stop and start. Okay, because that can be rubbed out afterwards. So along that line that you drew, so from the 2 inch mark down to the 10 inch mark. So we've got 2 there, down to 10. Okay. We do the same on the other side. We go from, in fact, I'll turn it over because I want it so I can see where I'm going to be cutting from. So I want it from the 2 inch mark down to the 10 inch mark again. Okay, what I now do, and this you don't have to do it, but I find it to make it a little bit easier to open up, is I then take probably not even a 1/16 of an inch. So I go down the inside of both of these, and it's probably, I don't know, it's probably about a 32nd of an inch, not even a 1/16, and I go from the same mark, go all the way down, and I then just trim that end bit and this end bit, and you can see the piece that I have taken out is oh so fine. Okay, so it's very, very, very fine. I can't even really give you, yeah, it's probably about a 1/16 of an inch. And I do the same with the next one, but make sure you do it from the inside, not on the outside. And I'll show you why and why this is important in a moment. So, just a smidgen, as they say in Australia. So if you're watching from outside, a smidgen is a very small amount. And there we go. So as you can see, that actually gives us slots so that when we actually go to start folding this card, it's not going to get caught on the other pieces of the card. Now it's the time to actually start folding the card. Now this is where you've got to be a little bit careful. So these ones, if we bring this in, you can see that this one up the top here is going to be a valley fold and a valley fold. This one next on the outside is going to be a mountain fold, and this one's going to be a valley fold. So we'll start with those, and you've got to be careful not to put a crease in this bit here. So I just do it like so. This one's going to be mountain, so I'll just bring that one up and bring these one in. Just do it very gently at first. Okay, so you've got your valley, you've got your mountains. So holding that down, you can then kind of, in fact, do them all, because then it actually goes into place much, much easier. So let me have a look. What have we got here? So that's, did I do it the wrong way? I did too. So that one's correct. This one will then be this way, and this one will be that way. The next one will be this way, and that one will be that way. And then this one will be, let me have a little look here, that way and that way. So you've got them basically as you want them. Now you just very gently, and it's very important not to put a crease through here and here and here. So it's just a little bit fiddly, but just start to make the folds that you've done a little bit firmer, and you'll find that it will go together fine without having to put folds in places that you don't want them. Okay, so now what we can do is start bringing them over. This can come in there, and there we go. That is how it is folded. Get your burnishing tool and make sure that all of those folds are burnished beautifully. Okay, so there's quite a few of them, so but don't leave any out, whatever you do. Okay, and now you will see that as you open it, the card does not actually catch on each other. If they were exactly the same size, or just a cut down there as opposed to a little gap, it does tend to actually get caught. And I think that's what's happening here. So, because this was one of my prototypes. So, yeah, you can see that it actually does get caught. Anyway, so that is our base card. Now, what you now can do is, that's interesting that it did that. Anyway, that's probably not from, that's not a fold, that's actually where you've burnished it and it's come through. Okay, so now what you need to do is just to rub out those lines. Okay. So it's quite simple. It's It's definitely not difficult to do, but yeah, that's how it comes. So, and that's how it will go together. So now what we need to do is we need to get our pieces that we cut out, and we need to stick those all on. So I'm going to do that off screen. So I'm going to put all my my pieces together. So obviously I'm going to put that onto that, etc., and then I'm going to put it on there. So I'll switch off while I do that, so that you don't get too bored. Okay, so as you can see, I now have all of my pieces stuck on. So I stuck them onto the matte layer, and then I put the top layer on, and then put them back onto my card. And there is my card ready for decoration now. It's a very simple card, as I say, but it's very effective. Now what I'm using is a topper. Okay, so that came with this set, and I am going to pop that probably about there, I think. So once again, when you're putting anything on like that, I'm actually going to use a little bit of dimension here. I'm going to use some foam tape on the back, but make sure that there's no tape on anywhere that it goes over, because you don't want it sticking to here. On top of that, and I'll do this for you in a moment, whilst I was off camera, I also put some, oh, there's still a little bit wet. I also put some glitter around the edges of my roses. Okay, I just think it gives it a little bit more bling. And what I use for that is Cosmic Shimmer, and then I used some just plain rainbow, oh, fine glitter, rainbow lights, that one's called, but it's just a oops, that's the wrong place, just in there. So that's all I did. I just go around the edges of all of the flowers, and like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some foam tape on these because I'm going to have that on the front. I'm then going to probably, I haven't decided yet, I'm probably going to have a couple of flowers down here, and maybe, depending on where that goes, I might even have one up there. Not sure yet. Or I might have another one there with some more leaves. But I'll play around with it. I'll leave the camera on while I'm doing it, but I'll speed it up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so there we have it. It does take a little while to mess around and play. I am going to do a couple of other things. I'm going to actually use my, where's my pokey tool? There it is. I'm actually going to pop some little diamantes on the center of all, oh, that's my pencil. I'm going to pop some little diamantes onto the top. Oh, there we go. The middle of all of these little stars. So it will take a little bit of time to do, not too long, but. Okay, so there we go. There is our card. There's a little bit of dimension in it, but I think it's beautiful. I love the sparkles. I think that really sets it off. Might put a couple more sparkles just to one side here. I need to give her room to write her message to her friend, but I might just put generally speaking, when you're putting anything, any embellishments on a card, it's always an odd number. So never put 2 or 4. Always put either 1 or 3. So I'll put 1 there. And another one here. And just a third one, I think just there. There we go. And there is the card done. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please, if you are following me on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel because that does help me. I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up and maybe make a comment down below because I do read them all, and where I possibly can, I actually do get back to you as well. The numbers for this 70 are available on my website, which is www.aussiecardsandcrafts.com.au. A lot of the cards that you see, you will see them made up on the Facebook page, which is the Aussie Cards and Crafts Facebook page. So please head on over, and if you're not a member, just become a member, and we'd love to see some of the things that you do. I'm really hoping that my friend does like this, and I'm hoping that her friend in turn does like it as well. I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you all give it a try. Thank you, and happy crafting, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.